Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to New World News today, Wednesday, November 11th, 2020. And here we go again. Two huge stories today. One, every news site in the country, but I'm just going to link out here from the New York Post. Not a fan of the New York Post, but I'm going to use it because the site has probably the most comprehensive breakdown of this. Ticketmaster to require a negative COVID-19 test or vaccination to attend concerts. This was released around 2 p.m. It's currently a little after 5 p.m. here on the East Coast. So what does this mean? The pre-concert checklist for music fans is about to get more complicated as Ticketmaster is planning to check the coronavirus vaccination status of concert goers prior to shows once a treatment is approved. Billboard is reporting Wednesday. Billboard initially broke this story. So I'll link that up there. The ticketing giant plans to have customers use their cell phones to verify their inoculation or whether they've tested negative with the virus or for the virus within a 24 to 72 hour window. So 1 to 3 days, somewhere in that 1, 2, 3 day range, you have to report that you have to prove, not just report, prove that you're negative or been vaccinated. The plan, which is still being ironed out, will utilize 3 separate components, including the California-based company's digital ticketing app, third-party health information firms like Clear Health Pass and test vaccination distributors like LabCorp or CVS Minute Clinic. Ticketmaster will reportedly not store or access medical records under the plan. If approved, fans would need to verify that they've either been already vaccinated or have tested negative as recently as 24 hours prior. Bullshit. They are saying this is not a violation of HIPAA law. They're saying that this does not go against HIPAA. Having to prove a medical condition, yes, no, or otherwise to anyone other than your doctor is a violation of your civil rights and HIPAA. Period. That's the end of the conversation, guys. That's it. That's done. Stop talking. You cannot enforce this. And if you attempt to enforce this as a private company, you will be sued, and deservedly so. It's a private business. No shoes, no shirt, no service, no negative test, no service. No! When your health comes into play, it cannot be used against you, and you cannot be forced to prove it. This is why the mask mandate never became a law and never will be a law, because unless certain people try to overstep their boundaries, you cannot force someone to prove they do or don't have a health condition. That's the way the laws work in this country. The ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, says so. It is a federal civil right that has existed for almost 30 years. I think it was 92 or 93. Someone fact check me on that. 93 maybe? So 27, almost 28 years of your medical information is protected. Why is this so hard for people to understand? But let me tell you why it's so difficult for people to understand. Because it's about money. Billions and trillions of dollars in forced vaccinations. That's going to happen. And people are pushing to see how far they can go. And I guarantee you, screen share this video, save it, record it with your phone. This will not last. Ticketmaster will go out of business, or they will backpedal this, or it will not get approved. There is no way, no how, under any circumstances, anyone would ever do this or let this go. In fact, boycott Ticketmaster is already trending on Twitter. Go check it out. Not to mention, if it's found out that somebody has stake in Ticketmaster, in the government, or with any of these labs or Pfizer or anybody else, and it's proven to be a money issue, the proverbial bag of dog poop hitting the fan is going to happen. Guys, this is not okay, and anybody who thinks it's okay or is behind it or supports it, stop. It is not okay. If you want a vaccine, please, by all means, go get it. Go let somebody stick a needle in your arm with who knows what that'll do who knows what to your body and yourself. That's you. Do it. You're free. Go. This is a free country. Sort of, I guess. Go do what you want to do. But please do not think that any business, private, public, or otherwise, can enforce anything that requires you to turn over medical records or prove medical conditions one way or the other, period, including a negative result for COVID or a positive vaccination. Take it to the bank, fellas. Take it to the bank. Before I get worked up too much more. Concert goers would instruct a lab to send over test results to companies like Clear Health Pass or IBM's Digital Health Pass, which would verify the fan's status to Ticketmaster. Boom, there it is. Verify their status to Ticketmaster. Not allowed. Even if they could do it and you were okay with it, you're gonna trust Ticketmaster with your medical records? Come on, guys. Anyone who tests positive or doesn't get screened will not be granted access. Denial of service based on medical record proving. Illegal in this country. The digital ticketing app will also eliminate the need for paper tickets and can be prohibited from being resold. That's kind of already a thing. It's been a thing. I have digital tickets on my phone right now for next year's concerts. The announcement came just 2 days after Pfizer said results from phase 3 trial show its vaccine candidate is more than 90% effective. Imagine that. We have a vaccine that you can pay for, blah, blah, blah. It's supposed to be given to Americans for free, but I'm calling BS on that too. And if it is, it just means the insurance companies are going to get paid billions for doing it. Ticketmaster president Mark Yovich, go cancel this guy, told Billboard he expects demand for digital screening services to skyrocket once a vaccination is ultimately approved and distributed. Skyrocket demand from who? Is this guy out of his mind? Who is this guy? Somebody look this guy up. Mark Yovich, Y-O-V-I-C-H. Cancel him. We're already seeing many third-party healthcare providers prepare to handle the vetting. I bet they are, lined up to collect paychecks. Whether that is to get a vaccine, take a test, or other method of review and approval, which could all be linked via digital tickets so everyone entering the event is verified. I bet. Oh, and another way to track your Americans. Let's get right on that. Pfizer and German biotech firm BioNTech announced Monday they expect to produce up to 50 million doses of the vaccine candidate BNT162b2 for global distribution by the end of 2020 and as million as 1.3 billion doses next year. 50 billion doses in the next 2 months. By the end of this year, less than 2 months, 50 million doses that they say is going to be free to Americans. But let's just do general math. What do we think a dose of this level is worth? Is it worth $10? Because that's 500 million. Or is it worth $50? $50? So times 5, is it worth 2.5 billion in the next 2 months? At 50 bucks a thing, you know it's worth 50 bucks, right? Absolutely worth. What's a flu shot used to cost, like when people used to pay for flu shots, 30, 40, 50 bucks? This is trillions. We're already talking about $250 billion in the next 2 months. What's 1.3 billion at $10? Remember, 1.3 billion doses at $10 is worth like, I don't even know, 13 billion at $100, 130 billion. I mean, this is tens and hundreds of billions. I think I did the math on the 50 million doses. It'd be like 2.5 billion. But we're still, in 2 months, we're talking about $2.5 billion or $25 billion or whatever the heck the number is. Billions in 2 months for these companies. My math doesn't need to be right for you to see. Follow the money, guys. That's all they care about. It's all they care about. Is selling vaccines and stabbing you with a needle. It was never about a mask. It was never about wearing a dog bandana around my leg and that would keep us safe. It didn't matter what they told me to wear. They could have told me to wear a tinfoil cap and walk around with it. I'm not going to do it. And you know why? Because when you accept somebody pushing something unethical and unconstitutional and illegal onto you, gives them the go-ahead to go to the next thing. And I called this months ago and said it's just going to lead to them forcing you to walk out your door with a needle or don't walk out your door. And now they're doing it. In fact, let's follow up with the second story of today, November 11th, Wednesday, November 11th. Governor Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo, who knows, who cares, don't like the guy, orders new COVID-19 restrictions as cases in New York climb, effective November 11th, at 5:19 p.m. Restaurants, bars, gyms must close by 10 p.m. because the virus all of a sudden knows when 10 p.m. is, and it knows not to infect you before 10 p.m. House parties limited to 10 people. With coronavirus pandemic rage soaring in New York and all surrounding states, Governor Andrew Cuomo on Wednesday ordered new restrictions including on indoor dining and threatened even stronger measures if that doesn't work. Whoa! He's threatening you. Even stronger measures. Well, of course he's going to implement them. He's not threatening you. He's telling you what he's going to do. He's just giving it to you little bits at a time. So he doesn't look like the bad guy. He tried to give it a chance, but it didn't work. Let's move on. Good job, Andrew. Good job. Call it a first step in trying to stop the second wave of COVID-19 infections. A pullback that could lead to more stringent measures, the governor said. If the nation's numbers are going up and the states around you are going up, be prepared. The states around him. Pennsylvania, his old buddy, Governor Wolf in Pennsylvania. Starting Friday, all bars and restaurants will be forced to close at 10 p.m. and restaurants can still sell food after that through curbside. Gyms must also close at 10 p.m. and private gatherings inside all homes are limited to 10 people or fewer unless they're a household. So if you have more than 10 people that already live at your house, you're good to go. Staten Island has been labeled a microcluster or yellow zone. The village of Port Chester in Westchester County has been upgraded from yellow to an orange zone. Cuomo told CBS 2's Marsha Kramer, that's not all. If the numbers keep going up, would you consider drawing back and reducing the number of people who can eat indoors in the suburbs around the city, Kramer asked. If the measures are not sufficient to slow the spread, we will turn the valve more, and part of that would be reducing the number of people in indoor dining. The governor also demanded localities step up enforcement and zeroed in on the need for NYPD, the police, to take a role. A spokesman for Mayor Bill de Blasio told Kramer the city was hoping to come up with a team of people to handle the enforcement. They're going to put together a team of NYPD officers to enforce. They're going to walk the streets and they're going to fine you. They're going to arrest you. They're going to knock on your door and ask you how many people are inside. The latest COVID-19 numbers for Veterans Day in New York City, a second wave is knocking at the door. Percent of New York City residents who tested positive, so this is through a Twitter post provided to us by Bill Neidhart, and I'm actually opening the picture. We want to be below this line. So this is hospital admissions, positive COVID-19, appears to be per day. And they have 100 in the middle, 150, 200. I'll try to post a screenshot. Looks like 94 were admitted yesterday, but a week ago we had like 105. It's been the same number for the last month, all the way back to November 15th. So then if we open the second one, reported COVID-19 7-day average, we want to be below the number 550. And it looks like since October 15th, a month ago, it has gone up from the number of reported ones. I wonder why. Percent of New York City residents who tested positive back in March was 70% of all New York City residents tested were positive. 70%. 7 in 10 people that tested were positive. Then fast forward April, May, June to June the 5th, less than 5% of people being tested were positive. Imagine that. And it's been under 5% all the way from June, July, August, September, October, and now November. Cuts off at the November 2nd date of 2.61%. 2.61%. Percent of New York City residents who tested positive, 7-day average. Back in March, 62%, up to 67%, currently at 2.5%. But we're going into a second wave and everything's crazy. The numbers don't lie. The numbers they're putting up don't lie. It's their own numbers. It was 70% in March and now it's 2%. And we're scared to death. No, we're not. We want to make money off a vaccine, guys. We want to get rich. The mayor's press secretary tweeted, City Hall has been in discussions with the state on these guidelines and fully supports these actions. There was immediate pushback. Staten Island Councilman Joe Barely, a Republican, tweeted, I'll be having more than my people, 10 people at my house on Thanksgiving. My address is public record. Some family will come from Gasp, surrounding New Jersey. Go get them, Joe Barely. And you know what? I hope they knock on the Republican councilman's door. But in New York City and the suburbs, the question is how to enforce the restrictions on bar and restaurants. Cuomo said it's simple. If it's after 10 p.m. and you see a light on inside, issue a summons. His new gang task, NYPD officers, they're going to issue you a summons if your light's on after 10 p.m. The city's infection rate in a 7-day average is roughly 2.5%. If it average reaches 3%, de Blasio said public schools could be forced to go all remote and close in-school teaching. This is coming to us from New York CBS Local 2. You guys see what's going on here? There isn't any question as to whether or not, I'll link all of this below. There's no question, zero question as to whether or not they're going to close New York City. They're going to close it. They're just giving you the news ahead of time. They're going to give you a week or two to get used to it, and then they're going to karate chop you. Boom, done. They're going to walk in your house and count how many people show up for Thanksgiving dinner. If you read the Pennsylvania governor's Wolf, I don't even, what is his name? PA governor is it Tom Wolf, Dick Wolf, Tom Wolf? About as blue liberal left-leaning Democrat as you can get. There aren't many more worse. Maybe the squad of women, of congresswomen or whatever they are, and Joe Biden topping the list. But Wolf, Governor Wolf, right there, right behind him, he's trying to catch up. He has stated that if you have family Thanksgiving dinner, you must dedicate one person. I'm not making this up, guys. This is directly from the governor's office. You can Google it, look it up yourself. Pennsylvania, Governor Wolf. If you have a Thanksgiving dinner with family, you must dedicate one person to serve your food with gloves and a mask. And it must be single-serving foods for each individual person. No shared food from a shared container or shared turkey, ham, things of that nature. I'm not making this up, guys. Please go look it up. Governor Wolf, Pennsylvania, Thanksgiving COVID restrictions. Less than however many people he said. I don't know what Pennsylvania is. 10 people, 15 people, 20 people. No more than 2 households that can come over and visit you. So if you live in a house and you're having a gathering, nobody from more than 2 households can come over. And you must eat with your mask, only removing your mask in between bites. No, again, I'm not making this stuff up, guys. I'm not making this up. Please, if you can't see what's happening by now, you'll never see it. It's just the comment section. The comment section is your guys's. I just can't deal with these people anymore. Ticketmaster, going to require you to stab yourself in the arm to go see a concert. Boycott Ticketmaster. It's trending on Twitter right now, and I imagine this won't go very far. And New York City's mayor, Governor Cuomo, the guy that says you better wear a mask or you'll die, caught out in public at least a dozen times with no mask. Buddy with Biden, hates Trump, can't stand him, loves Fauci. He's that guy. We all knew this was coming for New York City. For my friends in New York, sorry, your state's getting locked down first, I would imagine. And Pennsylvania will probably follow right behind it. And I wouldn't bet on California not having it happen sooner than later as well. So enjoy it, guys. This is what you voted for. If you didn't vote for it, we get to live with it. Sorry. All right, that's what we got for you. November 11th, 2020. Things continuing to go downhill. We'll see what happens. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow.